Sign up for free Stratfor Intelligence. Simply enter your email address to receive 2 free reports each week.
The Syrian regime is obviously having a lot of trouble putting down unrest as crackdowns are intensifying and as protests are spreading. A number of regional stakeholders are meanwhile trying to exploit the regime's current vulnerabilities and trying to promote their own agendas in the region, particularly as tensions are escalating between Iran and the GCC states in the Persian Gulf region. The Syrian regime has been employing this me or chaos theory, and it's one that's had a pretty good effect so far. The current regime has been in power since the '63 coup, and there's no real viable political alternative to the al-Assad regime. At the same time, there are a lot of patronage networks tied to this regime that do not want to see the government go. And the main drivers to these protests have come from the majority Sunni conservative camp. There are a number of players in the region who just don't know how a majority Sunni regime would conduct their foreign policy. That's of great concern to a number of players in the region who are concerned by sectarianism spreading not only in Lebanon, where Syria is a major player, but also in Iraq. There is major Kurdish unrest in Syria's northeast that could spill over into Turkey and also fuel unrest in northern Iraq, where protests have also been significant. Given all these factors, the Saudis, the Turks, the Israelis, the Americans, pretty much anyone with a major stake in Syria have not been openly advocating for regime change in Syria. They have a lot of reason to worry about the fallout of a regime collapse. At the same time, certain players see an opportunity. The Saudis in particular have been trying long and hard to coerce Syria into joining the Arab consensus and into cutting its ties with Iran and Hezbollah. The urgency of this demand has intensified, especially as tensions have been on the rise between Iran and the GCC states in the Persian Gulf region. Syria has accused a number of the surrounding Sunni Arab states of supporting the protests in its country. The Saudis have responded by saying that Syrian compliance with its demands in cutting relations with Iran and Hezbollah could lead to an easing of domestic pressure. And therein lies the paradox. Syria could always reject foreign pressure to end its relationship with Iran and Hezbollah, but then it would be giving a reason to these regimes to search for alternatives to the al-Assad regime. On the other hand, Syria could comply with these demands and try to sever ties with Iran and Hezbollah, but Iran has built up an insurance policy to such a scenario. Remember, Iran has a core interest in maintaining a strong stake in the Levant region with which to threaten Israel, and Syria is crucial to that agenda. Syria also derives a lot of leverage from its relationship with Iran. That's the main reason why the Saudis and others have been throwing cash at the Syrian regime in an attempt to coerce the Syrians out of that relationship. Plus, there's a huge indigenous factor to these protests. There's no guarantee that Syrian compliance with foreign demands will actually ease the pressure at home. Syria is undoubtedly in a tough spot on a number of fronts. Regime collapse may not be imminent nor assured in the near term, especially as the army seems to be holding together, but the regime's room to maneuver is definitely narrowing by the day.